So, all right. So the Pokemon shootings were averted, which makes it okay to now go back to police bashing because they really did their job there. Obviously, law enforcement at work at the Pokemon conference. Law enforcement a little less at work at LAX, where Wiz Khalifa was handcuffed and slammed to the floor.
He wasn't resisting.
He wasn't resisting. Well, then why did they keep saying stop resisting? Why would police say that while kneeling on your back if they couldn't tell, like a chiropractor can, that there's resistance going on? They can tell. Their knees are right on his shoulder blades. They know if there's resistance there.
You got me there.
But this guy's, I was like, who's Wiz Khalifa? And I was all excited because listen to his name. It's like, it's more than just a rapper. It's like, wow, I'm into a guy named Wiz Khalifa. like he's super, super duper not white. He's covered in tattoos and he's the, were you watching that Twin show with us on VH1, that Twin reality show thing? No. Anyways, the two white fat twins, the funniest thing was that they won because their song was We Dem Boys. And that's Wiz Khalifa. I didn't connect those dots. We Dem Boys and the song from Fast Furious, or the when you put in your booty and you
all them
put
planes
on your
we
face,
flew.
and it's good to have seen you, but I'll see you again. Yo. It seems like back in the day. It seems like back in the times and all the usual ways from around. And it's one of those heartfelt kind of back in the day raps. It doesn't have to be as good a rap.
I was getting that vibe from that.
Yeah, I always wanted to do. It's like the quintessential one of those, but those come out every 8 years.
It started off with kind of like a Michael McDonald kind of Doobie Brothers kind of thing.
Yeah, can you do one? Can you sing with your dulcet tones, and then so that I can do a back in the day like rap?
So what do I have to accomplish with my part of it?
You have to do like the hook. You have to be like you have to do like you have to say like, I love your face and I love your chicken too. Whatever. Like a kind of like.
Is it about love or is it about?
About love. Yeah.
About love
or about missing people. Okay.
Or. I love your face and your chicken too. Give that chicken to me.
Yeah. It seems like back in the day. The chicken
are we recording this? Tell me we're recording this. Dustin, are we rolling?
It seems like just the other day used to be so many ways in a different way. Used to be in the past, but now things have changed so much in the usual way.
I think we got something good here.
You know what it is, Jeff? Phone's tripping out. Oh no, I activated that thing for blind people. I was like, how do you turn that?
Your icon so big.
Triple finger, double tap. To two in the pink or
what? It's one on the app and two in the crap.
Now I'm just adding appointments. I'm adding appointments everywhere. I have 9 chiropractic appointments.
Grandpa, put it down.
This is a serious problem. Zoom out. Okay.
Hit the home button 3
He got it.
Oh, okay. I eventually hit the screen so much that it went into some kind of like this isn't a chimp's cage mode. And it brought up a menu that a chimp could understand. The top thing was like, zoom out, return to your banana. All right. So anyway, Wiz Khalifa is my new hero because he was at LAX and he wouldn't get off of his hoverboard. You rode one of those hoverboards.
I've not. I'm always around them. We're at the drawing room after the show and we're drinking, and it seems like a terrible idea to get on one of those drunk. I've seen some people wipe the fuck out on those.
Oh, those you're talking about those mini Segway things.
Yeah, those. What do you call those?
Yeah, it's a Segway without a handle. Wiz Khalifa loves them, and he loves it so much. He was riding around LAX with them, and the cops were like, "You got to stop that." And he's like, "Why? No, I don't." And they're like, "Yeah, you do." And he's like, "What, are you going to arrest me for not doing what you say?" It's awesome. Good question. That's not against the law. Fucking cops aren't. What are you, a judge? Like, there's no. What's the law? No hoverboard law.
You can't go skateboarding around LAX.
Well, I don't know.
They drive little trucks all around the fucking LAX.
Yeah, and have you ever been to another airport
down
like
the hallways,
like international airports, like Japan Japanese like businessmen, they ride they have like scooters, they Inspector Gadget's roller skate shoes, and they have like crazy like their luggage turns into a fucking fucking wave runner. Like you're like what the fuck am I in trouble? Is that Al Qaeda? And they're like, no, that's a Japanese guy. He knows what he's doing.
These are the passengers. This is not.
Passengers.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I want to do that.
So why don't they? So here's the thing about airports. Here's the thing about the TSA. Here's the thing about our panic. Here's the thing about going into these places and the religion being don't do anything weird. Don't do anything wrong. I just want to say about that. Like, we keep falling back on this hot button of like, oh, it must be so hard, and there's so many things at stake. Meanwhile, as we all learned, for 10 years, we were worshiping at this altar, and fine, like we were doing it for nothing because you could have had a gun in your hat, and 95% of them would have gotten through. They tested it, and there's still so forget about that for a second. Just observe the fact that like it's a checkpoint. It's a security checkpoint. You know what's a really bad idea for security checkpoints? Like disruptability. Do you know what all there is at that place? Is fucking ways that they tell you can disrupt them. Like they're advertising about it. It's like, well, don't make the wrong comment. Don't make the wrong joke. Don't you motherfuckers have shit under control? Because if you do, I should be able to make a joke. Everyone should be able to. I should be able to run into an airport with 7 prop dynamite vests on one of those Michael Jackson Venice Beach things, and be like, 6 of me are terrorists, and they should be like, knock it off, sir. That's too big for the luggage rack.
I bought extra seats.
It's like, but in the end, if the dogs don't bark, or if I don't get a gray swab reading, or what, have your draconian rules.
I did something. The last trip I took, I guess when we were going to New York for Harmontown out there, I went into LAX and they said, "Sir, randomly, can you put your palm out?" And they do like the explosive residue test with a little ravioli-looking little pieces of cloth.
They do look like ravioli.
Yeah, they do.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Why does ravioli have to look like have those little teeth around the edge?
That's how you kind of crimp them together. You close them up that way. Like you take a fork and you crimp them.
It's also stylish.
That's the fastening system to keep a ravioli together, man.
But then I wonder why that little swatch has to have that, because patches have those too.
Yeah. Well, that's like what are those pinking shears? What's the ones, the zigzaggy ones, right? That's so that doesn't fray, at the end.
Maybe they don't want those to fray.
I guess not.
They probably don't.
Please continue your story.
Thank you, Dad. Hey, this story's full of all kinds of Easter eggs we can explore if you want.
And by the way, if you're not enjoying the show, this is all bonus content. This is usually when we start. That was the cold open.
So, instantly, like the alarms go off. I love your face and your chicken too. So, it kind of goes red alert. These 2 guys are instantly like, one guy looks over and goes, "What's going on?" And the guy gets like, "It's beeping." He's like, this hasn't happened. And I'm like, uh-oh. And the other guy comes over and he's like, "What do you mean it's beeping?" He's like, "The thing is, it beeps." I put it on his hand and it beeped. And he's like, "Okay, sir, you have to come with us." And so they walked me all the way around the line, like to the front of the line, took all my shit through security, put it on a belt. So I go like front of the line. Okay, they're going to find out a secondary thing that I didn't make a bomb today, and I'm just going to get to go.
Meanwhile, guess how many fucking bombs can get through while that's happening?
Yeah, loads.
Anyways,
so
footnote.
So they I guess, sir, we're going to go. Oh, they open up everything, all my stuff, and take everything out, and they wipe everything down with another little ravioli. I don't know how many raviolis they went through on this, but you could have had a lovely Italian meal there. Get a nice sauce. So then they take me into the sanctum sanctorum, this little private room. They go, we're going to take you in this room, and we're going to have to give you a full search, a full pat down. And I'm like, okay. And they go, but there's going to be 2 of us in the room. I'm like, okay, tell me why. And he's like, because it's so someone is watching to make sure that nothing, is whatever. But they both really got in there, man. They were like, the guy's like, I'm going to be touching you like right on your situation. And like it was fucking romantic. I'm I'm like, you guys do work here, right? I was like, this is. It was so hard not to crack a joke in there. I was like, wow.
Which you can't do because that's how they get you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how Al Qaeda will slip up. They'll make a funny joke. They'll be like, oh, look. Knock, who's there? Kaboom, boom. It's like, wait, you're being awfully chipper about this whole thing. Step over there. We're not profiling, sir, except for just based on your wordplay. Yeah. So
I don't want to say he lingered on my dick, but it certainly it wasn't cursory. It was thorough.
So
we got to third base, I think.
And if you were told, and I don't think the guy was like hoverboarding through the X-ray machine toward the cockpit. I think he was probably literally. I'm gonna guess if I know Wiz Khalifa,
he was going to.
I'm pretty sure he was probably in ticketing. You know, he was probably hovering at the kiosk where you get yourself checked in.
Yeah.
And he was probably like, I love to holla, I love to hover. Because these are the two things I really like about this guy. 27 years old, covered in tattoos. Looking at him, he's the old white man's worst nightmare. You definitely want him off your lawn before anybody else. But very soft. Turns out very soft spoken and very like he's Henry David Thoreau. He's like he acted in total civil disobedience. He's just like, no, I don't want to get off my hoverboard. I don't understand what's happening. Am I being arrested or detained? And then, and they slam him to the floor, and they're just like, stop resisting. That weird voice they use, they sound like lizards. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop. And he just keeps going, I'm not resisting, sir. I'm not resisting, sir. I mean, he's probably done it 1,000 times, and he was tweeting about the whole thing.
I'm going to guess what that was a pet peeve of mine, that police insist on calling everything a vehicle. Just say car.
Yeah.
Well, get out of the vehicle, sir. Get out of the vehicle.
Jeff, what you have to understand is that at this point in time that they have to speak longer so that they can take longer to figure out what it is that they're trying to say at this particular juncture.
Yeah.
So they've figured out there's like what's styrofoam words, like because they can't go bad driving, ticket here. I was like, they pound that into their heads for the entire 6 weeks you are trained to then walk into the public with a gun. During that 6 weeks, they tell you these people are animals, and you have to hold a chair in front of you, but you're not allowed to hold a chair because of these fucking lawyers. So your chair has to be your attitude. You have to, because if you turn your fucking people will just rip your skin off and wear it like a fucking hat. They're just waiting. Oh, they'd love it if you didn't show up for work tomorrow. They would just, they'd eat all the ice cream. They'd be hoverboarding everywhere. They'd never stop hovering. And among the many hilarious things that Mr. Khalifa pointed out, or I call him Wiz because I feel like we're friends, is that in 2 years the cops are going to be riding these things all over. That's what this is going to be their new thing. There's going to be hover cops fucking like whizzing around. And he said it'll probably be one that I designed, which I thought that was weird. But then I thought, you know what? He's probably a stockholder of the fucking hoverboards. Now he's even more my hero. He's a fucking marketing genius.
Yeah.
He probably paid the cops.
Was it just a big commercial stunt?
If it was, it's the kind of commercial I approve of. But anyways, I like him.
Let's invite him on the show.
Well, I tweeted at him, so usually that ends with people coming on the show, right? I tweeted at him, I saw your face in the news and your hoverboard problems. I didn't say blues because I didn't want to do an on-the-nose rhyme. And I know this isn't you singing in that song from Fast and Furious, but the next part is probably you. Yo. It seems like back in the day you were at LAX in the usual passenger way. You tried to hoverboard your way through the usual way, but the cops and the dops and the hoppers and the the labadops. And when you come on our show...
It's amazing. Those lyrics are as true today as the day they are written.
People be talking about... I can't do it.
Lots of things are happening in various ways.